If you ever thought walnuts were expensive, you got to watch this video and find out why.
I recently learned not to complain when I see the high price of nuts in the supermarket. How did I learn? I decided to harvest my own walnuts. This is something that I've been interested in trying for a number of years. Finally, I'm going to harvest these black walnuts that grow so easily here in southern Ontario and fall to the ground in early autumn. As they grow on the trees, these walnuts look nothing like the ones that are sold in stores. This is basically because they are covered by this thick green skin. Removing the skin is the first step in harvesting the walnuts. Look for nuts that are nice and green. You can collect them from the ground or pick them from the tree, but avoid the ones that have lots of dark spots in the skin. They're getting to be a bit too old. The skin gets soft as they are ready for harvest. You should be able to push your finger in a little bit. If the skin is still hard, then the walnut is not quite ready. It's quite easy to remove the green skin. I simply rolled the nuts gently on a concrete pad under the sole of my shoe. You may see worms while removing the hulls. Just toss them aside. The nuts inside are still fine. With the hulls out of the way, give the nuts a quick wash. It doesn't take much, just a little sloshing around in a bucket of water. While the nuts are in the water bucket, pay attention to which ones sink and which ones are floating. If the nuts float, discard them. This shows that they are rotten. A proper walnut will sink in water. Now it's time to sit back and wait for them to dry. I simply spread them out and leave them alone in a cardboard box on my basement floor. It takes only a few days to dry them, maybe up to a week. Now they are ready to eat, which means that it's time for the most challenging part of this process, removing the nut meat from the shells.
Walnut shells are stronger than many of the common nut cracking tools. I've used very large pliers to crack them, and I've even used a small hammer to break the shells open on a concrete pad. Then a picking tool is handy to carefully separate the meat from the shell. I emphasize the word carefully here. Don't get any shell into the final bowl of collected nut meat. That shell can be a very unpleasant surprise if you bite down onto a piece while enjoying the finished nuts. Shelled nuts store well in an airtight container in cooler temperatures for a few months. The kitchen cupboard is a fine place to store them. Some people choose to put them in a refrigerator, but I haven't found that really necessary. If you keep them in a freezer, they'll store well for up to 2 years. One more thing that I've learned during this fun experiment: the tasty nuts that we find in North American stores are usually English walnuts. They have a milder taste and a thinner shell than the black walnuts that are native to this area, where I live near the Great Lakes. Personally, I don't enjoy the taste of the black walnuts, and I plan to buy my walnuts from the supermarket from now on. Well, there you go. Walnuts are perfect size for juggling too.
Check out some of our other videos and subscribe to our channel.
New content will be posted weekly.